Alright. Welcome back. I thought we'd do a little video. We'll do a walk around the house and talk about some things that I've completed during the COVID-19 pandemic and some additional things that I still have yet to do. So here we are in the Breezeway. This room, I'm still not sure what I want to do with it. We thought about actually insulating the room. So we've talked about insulating the room, that is framing these end walls or side walls in, putting in a 6-foot sliding glass door here, a nice entry door here, and some windows. But it is nice having this as kind of a 3-season room. So keeping it as a 3-season room, my thought is actually having a company come in and put in, they have custom porch enclosures that they can fit to any size opening, and generally instead of glass they use like a vinyl or some kind of a film in place of glass for the windows and retractable screens and such. The problem is they're very expensive to have somebody come in to do this, and you can't buy the materials and do it yourself, at least not the factory produced ones. So for now we're going to leave things as they are in this room, but what I will be doing is installing a light fixture in the ceiling, or a fixture box, to hang possibly a ceiling fan or something, and that swinging vintage style light is going to probably go away. Of course, when I bought the house, this plant here, this is a rhododendron. This was here, and it's now starting to bud for the first time. We got no buds or flowers last year, so this is interesting. It's like it's coming back to life. But the rest of the plants that were originally in the front of the house, there were rose bushes. Those were all ripped out or cut down by the previous owner for reasons I don't understand. So we just went out and planted 1, 2, 3 boxwoods. These boxwoods are nice because they form into like a nice round shaped bush that can be sculpted and molded and whatnot with hedge clippers and such. We got one there. We also got another rhododendron, and I had to dig out all the rose bush stumps that were left. There was one there. There were 3 of them across this way, and so those are gone. As for this cobblestone, we picked that up free of charge. We have found somebody that was basically trying to get rid of these stones. These are cubed granite edging stones. They're very expensive, about $1 or $2 per stone to buy them. And these are good, very good quality. We live in the granite state, and granite pretty much is found everywhere. So these are nice to have. Definitely nice to have. Better than anything I could buy anyway. I raked up all the red mulch that was around that tree and I replaced it with natural mulch, but I didn't put any weed or growth barriers under it, so I'm going to have to do something about that, maybe do a better job. And there's a little hole in the yard that I had to fill in. There was like something at some point had gouged the landscape over there, so I had to fill it in with 2 bags of topsoil and plant some grass. I repainted this entire gutter with a flat white paint. And there's Oreo. There he is. How you doing, pal? So I repainted that gutter. It was starting to look kind of nasty. I trimmed these bushes down. I cut all the dead wood off with a reciprocating saw. I'm gonna put a concrete pad here. I'm gonna grow it. I'm gonna make some forms and get a couple of bags of concrete mix, and we're gonna put a nice concrete pad down for the trash barrels. and I'm going to put a screen, like probably but I'm thinking, and I just thought of this, I'm going to build a lattice screen right here and plant some kind of a plant, or maybe roses in front of it that can climb up the lattice work. Let's see how that goes. Now this was something that had to be done. This isn't done yet. I've got 2 cubic yards of gravel being delivered tomorrow. That's for the front, where the cobblestones are, and for this area here. So we're going to fill that in with gravel rather than bark mulch. And the reason for that is gravel isn't flammable. Bark mulch is. And gravel does not attract insects, wood-boring insects and such. Bark mulch can attract damaging things. I just put in this gutter on the back here. I did that myself. It's not perfect, but it works. And that's to prevent all the runoff from eroding the soil. You can see from the way it was, these blocks were, I put these in last summer, and there's already a mark across of erosion. And the ones that were originally here had been eaten all the way through from erosion, and there was nothing left to them. They were completely destroyed from the runoff. That's why you need gutters. Gutters are good. They prevent that. I'm going to have to clean this up. This is all the caulking residue that attracted moisture, sand and such. I'm going to clean that up with a sponge or a scrubber. No big deal. Maybe some, I think, mineral spirits will take that off. We'll see. I'm glad to see that my threshold that I built is holding up nicely. No signs of any deterioration yet, except for there's a chip right there. I have to touch that up. That is a pressure-treated piece of plumbing. Pressure-treated piece of wood right there. It's taken took the paint pretty well. I'm impressed, but it probably could use another coat. So we're going to fill that with gravel, and then here's the gutter I put in the back. I did this at the same time. Now I ran the gutter downspout out this way to get it away from this area. We're going to be building a deck here. That's for sure. We're building a deck. It's just a matter of when. I got to get permits and buy materials. I estimate the cost of building the deck that I want, which will be 12 by 12, by the way. It's going to go out to here, and then it's going to basically come out to a corner here and then return. That window is getting bricked over. I may have to dig this down a little bit. I don't think I can fit a 2x8 deck framing. Maybe I can. It's going to be a 2x8 framing, pressure treated. With as far as the decking material on top, I was going to do Trex, but I'm looking at cost and it just doesn't work out. Trex is very expensive, and I don't really want to go through that expense just yet. So it's also, just don't like it. I don't like it. I like natural wood, and I'm going to be probably using a water seal product on it to keep it up. So that window's getting bricked over. I got to do that. I got to get some brick. I got to get some mortar, and I got to knock out the window frame. It's an oddball sized window to begin with, so and not only that, but it's going to be blocked by the deck, and I don't want to deal with it. Just brick it over. And I've been working on the yard yesterday, a little bit today. Some of the grass seed that I planted is starting to come through. You can see some of the new growth there. But I did lime it and I seeded it last fall. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Now this, I'm gonna need gutters for the front and back of the house. It's a 40-foot width. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually hiring a gutter installer to do a seamless gutter on both the front and back. I think that would be the best way to go with this. It's going to cost a little bit more, but I mean, this didn't cost much. This was very inexpensive, and one of the things, I don't really want to put gutters in the house because I know they're high maintenance, especially because the trees are above it. Now with these gutters, I filled them with foam blocks. They sell a gutter fill material. It's a 4-foot, foam core. It just stuffs in there. But this is going to be a lot of maintenance every year, cleaning these gutters. So I don't know. Well, I'm more concerned about the back of the house because it's harder to get to. It's a little bit taller than that roof line right there. But anyway, we'll figure something out. But I do need to do that because what's happening is, this whole section here is being eroded, and you can see where they put stone here before. Is it working? Is it not? Well, you be the judge. But so one of the projects I'm going to tackle this summer is going to be these windows. Fortunately, they're not that expensive to buy. They really aren't. It's just they're a little bit of labor to get them put in. These are mortared into the foundation, so you've got to chisel away at the mortar and get the right size, and it's a whole big thing. I'm probably going to do one, and then I'm going to do the other 3. There's 3 of these windows total. They're all the same size. You see how this is happening is the rock is starting to flow down this way, and it's actually, yeah. So that's not cool. I need to build a retaining wall. So I got to figure out where I want that wall to be, and make it happen. So I'm thinking about making the retaining wall start about here. Maybe go that way. I don't know. I'm gonna have to hire someone to do that because it's just too much involved for one guy with no experience. But these windows have to come out. Definitely. These are well beyond their lifespan. Actually, they're not in really that bad. See, they're not. These aren't rotted. I could actually save these windows and maybe make some new. I got to make at least 1 or 2 storm window replacements. But yeah, I'm not gonna save these. These are getting replaced for sure. Yeah. This sill is completely rotted. This window sill. So the new ones, they actually will be mounted to the bottom of the house's sill, screwed in there, and then we fill them in with foam, and then mortar them in around the inside and outside. So that's how they're done. But if you guys saw the original pictures of this house when I bought it, yeah, this is actually an improvement. Absolutely. This is a huge improvement from what it was. For example, this door was peeling paint city, and it had rotted trim all around it. The door sill was half gone. There were 4 jalousie window sections here, and this one over here was missing like probably half the jalousie panes. There were pieces missing everywhere. It was bad. We had this huge awning type thing. It was a like 11-foot awning off the back of this porch, and it was broken and half down and scratching up that window over there, and it was just, it was so bad. There weren't any shutters in the house, but there were awnings on every window, and they were gross looking. Really gross looking. No gutters. Just broken bricks. There was a trash barrel here, an old car battery over there. Oh, these are forsythias, by the way, in case you're wondering. And they're starting to flower already. We just planted these, and they're starting to flower already. I think we should put something in the middle there too, but that's my opinion. But of course, I am only one voting party in a party of 2, so. as for this area, when I go to pour that other concrete pad, I'm thinking about putting one over here too for the hose cart. Just a thought, you know. And then what I want to do is plant some little bushes to kind of give some depth to the property. So I want to put like a little bush there, maybe one here. And that way when they start to fill in, when you're looking at the house from the road, you won't see the hose cart or the spigot. It's just going to go straight back. You're not going to see any of this. It just gives depth, you know, I think, to the home. But I was voted down on that, but I'm probably going to have to renegotiate because I think that's really that would be a nice feature. But overall, you know, I have done a little bit of work here. Oh yeah, I also put in a bathroom fan vent. That vent up there. So that is hard pipe all the way back to the bathroom. The way the house was built originally, there was no bathroom vent at all, or bathroom fan. I don't believe there was. I think that happened much later. And they never vented it into the attic. And I replaced that fan, and I kept it vented into the attic until I figured out how I wanted to do it. See, I actually paid somebody to install a roof vent for the bathroom fan to keep the moisture levels down in the attic and prevent mold growth, but he never did it, and you know, there's that. So plans have changed, and I decided I'm going to do it myself, but I'm not going to cut a hole in the attic or in the roof. I don't want to cut a hole in my roof. So I went ahead and just decided I'm going to just go through the gable end of the house, and I ran probably about 15 feet of 4-inch pipe all the way to right above the bathroom, where it terminates using a flex hose to the fan assembly. So there's that. So that's all happy and done. So that was one of the things on my list that had to be done, but just I didn't have the time or energy to do it, and now it's done. So I'm really just kind of catching up on things that I really needed to get done last summer, but didn't have a chance to. My girlfriend's planting all of these nice vegetables for the garden, and they desperately need water now. I don't know what's going on there. Some of them are sprouting and some of them aren't. But I don't think she has seeds in all of these. I think she only has them in some of them, but those aren't labeled, and those are chives. So these must be all chives, I guess. Lettuce. Anyway, so yeah, the garden is all tilled, ready to receive the plants, and that's what I've been doing. So I have been working steadily throughout this pandemic, so I haven't really had the time at home to just do nothing or whatever I want. There's Oreo. He's still staring at us. Look at the poor guy. He's like, why are you out there and I'm not? He's meowing. I can't hear you. Anyway. He's adorable. If I open this door, watch this. Here he comes. He just wants to be part of the action. He's not allowed outside, and this is the closest thing to outside he's allowed to have. Oh, look, and there's the gardener right there. Anyway, so that's what we've been up to.